Hey yo everybody, it's Johnny5Alive here and welcome back to some more Park Beyond. We have very sad news for you guys here today. We're getting into it with an angry freaking rant, but we do have two coasters to highlight. I'm in between recordings. I made a couple coasters. This one was actually not intended to be a good coaster. We'll get into it. But this is in fact where our park ends because of a game-breaking bug. So I recorded a separate little snippet for my developer feedback video. I don't know when I'm going to be able to put that together. There's a lot of feedback that I need footage for to explain what's happening. But to explain to you guys why our mission here, we are ending at milestone 4 and cannot finish the game. Hard stuck here. At the first video, I told you guys out of the two choices going for coasters or impossification, the coaster was the better option because you can impossify everything, which is true. You will run into an issue that I'm having now where milestone 4 is impossible. I have impossified the game. So what's going on here? These challenges, build and open a roller coaster with the hook, the impossificator. Build and open a roller coaster with the hook, fist bump. They're all the same, but different hooks. Every car for itself. Float your boat. That's super Disneynator. Tour de park. So when I made this coaster over here, and I was like, let's look through the hooks, I figured I could nail one of those, right? Just out of curiosity. I was looking through the hooks. Let me read those out to you guys again. Every car for itself. Float your boat. Fist bump. Super Disneynator. The impossificator. Tour de park. They do not exist. And you're like, well, Johnny, maybe you haven't done the research. Of course, I'm a game tester. I was a game tester. I went in here and I bought the modules. I'm only missing these two modules, but I bought them. That didn't work. I tried getting the ramp. Also didn't work. So it did open up a few more modules, though. It did. But they weren't those ones that I listed. So my next thought was like, okay, well, what if they just renamed all of the modules between beta and release, and they've just mistaken the names of the coasters. So what I did with these hooks, I tried basically, so, you know, one that's called Float Your Boat. It's most likely going to be, hey, I just noticed I ran into a bug where I can pick any of these. So some of the ones that didn't have, I might be able to pick here. Yeah, I'm able to pick any of them now. But yeah, like Float Your Boat, you would probably think it's the big splash, right? But if I open it up and complete it and test it, because it is traveling a certain amount of distance on water, I figured that would unlock the hook, Float Your Boat. But the only option that's closest to something related to boats and water would be that of the hook, the big splash, right? There's nothing else similar to Float Your Boat. And that is the one thing that's considered have a train travel using water. There's nothing else water related here. So yeah, there's nothing in this game. So what I did is I just kind of went through them all. Give me a break, you know, safe on arrival. I just started picking all of these options and just testing the ride, opening the ride, you know, back and forth. And I basically just went through every single hook in the game. And I didn't get a single one of these challenges done. Even with the bug where I can select any of the hooks, it doesn't even help. So the hooks, the game is relying on this specific name of a hook to trigger, which that does not exist anymore. And you cannot progress until you've completed 2 challenges. So we're hard stuck. We're hard stuck. We cannot continue. And I'm absolutely furious because I don't know if I mentioned this in my Let's Play so far, but I will clip in some footage here. I failed this campaign the first time because, well, the second time I failed because the guests were getting stuck. Random navigation AI bugs causing thirsty guests to be thirsty in front of a drink stall, hungry guests to get stuck in front of a food stall, guests just wandering up and down the paths, people just not moving at all, and that caused a lot of negative feedback, and then people left in droves, and then my park caught on fire, and because mechanics couldn't get to the rides because they were getting stuck, and I don't know why I didn't have that issue this time, but I did fail because of that. The first time I failed, I decided to build a little park up here and then a little park down here, but because the travel distance from here to here was so long, the guests didn't really want to come down here, and they were getting really thirsty and hungry along the way, and I didn't have enough money to put food, drinks, benches, lots of rides and stuff in between there to here, and this just didn't get any action, and it cost me a lot of money per month, and I just went bankrupt. So I expanded too quickly was the first issue, which didn't seem like it it should be an issue, but the guests won't walk more than 10 feet in this game without getting thirsty, tired, sick, or, you know, wanting something entertaining. So you, in fact, have to like expand like little chunks at a time, little chunks at a time, little chunks at a time, which is insanely unfortunate. So yeah, this is my third time getting hard stuck on this mission for reasons that are not my own. And I'm super pissed off because I actually made a big long ranty video about all that stuff and I threw it out because I said, you know what? I'm trying to be positive about the game. I'm trying to provide a lot of feedback, or going to be providing feedback as I go while I'm playing. I'm suggesting things. I am pointing out little flaws here and there, but I'm generally trying to be positive. So when I made that ranty video showing a bunch of the hardcore, you know, game-breaking bugs, I also thought to myself, well, why don't I learn how to avoid those bugs? And I've been trying to teach you guys that. I mentioned that along the way as I'm doing things. Make sure you leave some room for your guests, otherwise the AI will scramble. I learned how to prevent some of the bugs that stopped me from playing in the past to not have that problem again. And I just check once in a while to see if anyone's getting stuck, and they in fact have. I've fixed a few guests getting stuck in between recordings, but you have to like kind of scan over your whole park once in a while. We had a working coaster, tested properly, and it got stuck. On my last mission, the coaster that goes up the elevator, those got stuck, and they always get stuck. So now it's like all these coaster modules are not working properly, and you make all this time building a coaster just to see it not work, and they're getting stuck. So now it's like, okay, the cat's out of the bag. Here we are. We made this beautiful park. We're working really hard on it. We're doing a lot of theming as we go. My plan for this video was to start the episode off with 2 or 3 coasters that completed these objectives so that we could finish off the episode by impossifying those 3 coasters so that they knock off the 8 profitability, the 8 amazement, and the 8-star fun, because this coaster here is a 7 amazement. All I have to do is impossify it now, and we have that one done. And all I need now is a profit coaster, which would be a long transport ride that takes you around the park. So I figured if we're going to make a transport ride that gets you around the park, why not expand to one of these areas? And we would build another little park with all of the new flat rides that I've been unlocking and with all of the new lab research that we have available to us. So I figured one last expansion with a transport ride, 3 new coasters to showcase to you guys, and we beat the mission on a high note with this really beautiful area up top, fully decorated, fully themed, and then another little expansion area with 3 new expanded coasters. And there we go, ending things off on a high note, right? So that's not what's going to happen today because I can't beat this mission and I'm extremely aggravated. So what we're going to do is we're going to ride these 2 coasters as a coaster spotlight, show you at least what I made, right? But now what I have to do, I have no choice, is I have to restart the mission, choose different mission objectives, and I don't want to do another 3-episode let's play, 4-episode let's play, redoing everything that I did or doing it in a different way. I'm just going to cheese it. I'm literally just gonna not record myself, plop down as many rides, just do a long ass strip, ride, food, whatever, check off all the objectives, beat the mission, move on. So the next video that you're gonna see is going to be the next mission. It's going to be the next mission. And while I could start that in this one here today, no, this needs to be an angry rant. This needs to be an angry rant showcasing developer feedback. I have a long laundry list of developer feedback that's going to take a long time to make. I don't know if I have the time for it right now, but there's too many things to go over to fix this game. And this one in particular needs its own video, needs to highlight these problems. Tweet this at the developers, guys. Tweet it, please, please, please tweet it at Bandai Namco, Limbic Entertainment. Send this out to them. Make sure that they see this video so they can go, oh, hey, let's make sure that nobody cannot beat our campaign. It's just insane how this made it by QA. And maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe I'm just stupid and every car for itself is in fact a hook. But I swear it's not. And if there is a way to unlock it, stupid people like me should be able to figure it out. Why does it have to be this hard? Why is it hidden behind a special menu? I'm playing the coaster mode. I've unlocked basically all of the coaster stuffs, all the modules. I've made good coasters, and I can't beat the coaster mission. I'm extremely frustrated, heartbroken, disappointed. We have to draw an X through it because I made a heart and it is now broken. So anyways, that's my rant. If normally we do like 45-minute to hour-long videos, so if this is gonna be a shorter one, might as well entertain you guys with a little bit of an angry rant. So I think I got it out of my system. Let's ride some coasters. So this is the one I made in between the episodes. I'll take you guys down the queue. Oh, hopefully it still works again. Is it working? Hello? It's open, right? Okay, people are loading up. Good. Okay, so I did some theming. I did a fun layout. The coaster itself is called... Oh, wow. It's no longer called. Love is complicated. Love is complicated because, as you can see, it's got a complicated layout. They're actually going backwards now because of that, like, spring thingy that I put in. And that means they're going to also launch backwards. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a backwards launch. So that's kind of... After doing a forwards launch first. And then it hits another spring over here. Boingy. Splits. It didn't split. Wait, what? It stopped working again. Oh, no, never mind. It did split. It worked properly. I got confused. I get confused by my own coaster. So one of the hooks, the reason it does that is, okay, I guess if I go to hooks, it like closes the ride. So I need to like look at the hooks from here. Out of order. Have the cars of the trains come back to the station in a different order than they started. So that's why I decided to make these splitters, and then bring them, travel them at different lengths to scramble the order of the coaster. So it comes back in a different order that it started. Why did I do that? Because it's a 4-star amazement. Then with the Cannoneer, that's a 3-star amazement. That's 7 total. Once we impossify the station, we get another 2-star amazement, bringing it up to 9 out of 10. And in order to beat our mission, we need to have an amazement factor of 8 or higher on one of our coasters. So that one would check it off. And our junior coaster over here already has a fun factor. Here it is, of 8. So we beat that one too. And as I mentioned, I would do one more coaster to seal the deal, to hit it on home, that would knock out all of these challenges and be a 8-star profitability. And then we can just kind of build another area with some more flat rides. So that was the goal, and that's not going to happen today, unfortunately. My Love is Complicated coaster is quite nice. I like it. It's a launch coaster, I guess, or cannon coaster with splitters. It's cool. Now, even though the track is quite long, I would even argue bigger and crazier and more complicated than our Wild Mouse, I can't really charge more than $4. Now, we've talked about this in previous videos. If a developer's watching this video today, got some more feedback for you. These coasters need to be buffed. I mean, I had a lot of people in queue before, and now there's nobody in queue. At the end of the last video of this series, there were people getting in queue, and as you can see from this coaster, there are people getting in queue. Now, I think there's not a lot of people in queue here because we've opened up another coaster and another coaster. What I found is if you build a coaster early on, when you have like less than 1,500 guests, it's a numbers game, right? So I think it's like, I want to say like 1% of guests will get on a coaster. So if you have 100 guests, only one person will get on that coaster. But if you have 1,500 guests, that means you'll have 15 people, 15 get on the coaster. And that's like when you have 15 people in queue, you actually have a coaster queue that's half full, or in this case, full. But if I would have made this exact same coaster when I had like 200, 300, 400 guests in the park, it would just actually have, if you look on it, it would say utilization underused or abandoned. People won't really start going on coasters in this game until there's a bunch of impossified flat rides. One thing to increase our insurance of and making people get on this ride is to have these impossified shops nearby. They're coming over here, all their traffic, and then the AI is like, maybe I should go on this coaster while I'm here. And we've driven them to our coaster. So if you want a coaster to be successful, make sure you have impossified shops, flat rides, and that sort of thing around it. Make sure you have a lot of guests in your park for one, and then make your coaster. So you, and that's backwards, because in RCT1, you probably put down a flat ride, a couple shops, and then you went, boom, I'm gonna make the Caterpillar Junior ride, or I'm gonna make a wooden coaster, or I'm gonna make a custom coaster. You know, you would do that sort of thing. That coaster queue would just fill up, you'd start making money, and that's how you would afford all of your theming, your decorating, and your future flat rides. Because generally, flat rides did not turn a big profit in RCT and Planet Coaster games. It was really all about the coasters. This game's the complete opposite. In most cases, you will get the utilization at very low. But now, this is the utilization on this one. It's spiking up and down because my throughput's so good. It's a pretty long train, and yeah, the throughput's amazing. And to that point, if the developers missed my previous videos, let us split the coaster train into multiple trains. trains without using a splitter, like a module to do that. When I select the station, I should say I want 5 coasters that are all 1 train long each. A wild mouse should be individual little things, and there should be a mouse option. So that drives me nuts that this actually is a coaster and not a wild mouse. I don't like that at all. And the only way I can do that is if I just have one little tiny car running on the whole coaster, or I come up with some complicated splitter like this, and I split it, split it, split it. See, these are wild mouses. This is a wild mouse. So in order to have a proper wild mouse, you would have some crazy contraption like this, then you would merge them all together and then do your wild mouse. But this is way too much to set up, and it's losing speed, and then if they touch, they reconnect together. It's way too much to ask someone to do that. Now you could do the elevator and it will split it up into chunks, but it'll split it up into chunks of 3 cars. So you can it's still a chain link of 3. So that's another issue with the coasters. Anyways, I'm just going on all these different tangents of what's wrong with the game after I've previously been like, I'm having fun, guys. But that fun was masked by me having issues behind the scenes that I was not trying to highlight and bring to your guys' attention, because I'm not trying to be a shill. I'm just trying to be positive, right? It's a new game. I've been waiting a long time for it. I'm excited for a new theme park game. I want to highlight what's good about it. And if I'm having struggles and issues, I will, as a game tester, find workarounds and solutions and continue. And I've done that successfully. I think this game can be played to a point where you can make cool theme parks that are successful and fun despite many of its flaws. But when you run into an issue like this, you break me, especially on my 3rd try at this freaking mission. I cannot get past mission 4 for the life of me, and I know how to freaking play these games. And so far, I've been doing good, but because I've been ranting and building coasters, I guess my food and toilet necessities have fallen behind, and now people are leaving just as fast as they're entering. But I've been good up till now, making sure this red bar has been empty. But since new guests have come in, I guess the traffic for my food and toilets has increased. But there's food and toilets everywhere on all of these places. I've been doing pretty good so far at playing this game properly, quote unquote properly, and I failed miserably 3 times on this mission. So, ranting aside, I made a cool coaster. Let's ride it. I showed you guys all the elements. Well, that one's, oh, look. Did this one stop working? What do you know? Another not working coaster. Close it, open it. It should work now, but you can't be like, oh, I'm building this area, I'm expanding, I'm theming, I'm decorating. 2 hours pass, you've built this whole thing, and you're like, wait, how long has my coaster not been working? There, it's working now. They're getting on. So we're gonna ride this one first. It's a complete joke. I literally just threw down a bunch of elements just to try to hit those, those impossifiers. I haven't even ridden this coaster. This is my first time. I was not trying to make a good coaster by any means. There's no banking, but hey, I built it. So why don't we ride it? It's whatever, right? This should be a helix with banking. It's not. So, And hey, again, if the developers are watching this, look at the clicky camera. The train is snapping left and right. Snap, 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 snap. I'll snap. It does. The car is clicking around and it's super distracting. While that may be challenging for the developers to fix, all we need is a track view. Because the coaster's actually not... The screen is not clicking, it's the car that's clicking. So if we just deleted the car, and there was no car there, and instead it was track view, it might actually ride okay, and be less distracting. Wow. What a wacky corkscrew. Some of these things need to be ironed out, in my opinion. Yeah. And the brake run. There we go. So yeah, that clicky camera can be resolved because if we go to our wild mouse, for example, it doesn't seem to be as clicky because the POV of the wild mouse is slightly different. See, it's almost like a track view. You see that? We don't really see the car. And watch. It doesn't seem to be as, like, clicky. See that? It's actually, well, other than someone's head flicking through us. But yeah, because we can't see the car, that needs to get fixed. Yeah, it's smooth. It's the car that's shifting around, not the camera. So we need a track view, an optional track view, and whatever this like head mode is, where I'm like seeing somebody's brains, that needs to be looked at. Because riding these is absolutely horrendous. Okay, it did a bit of a click there, but it's not as bad. I think it's the fact that we could see the coaster animation just like click, click, click. So this one's actually better, the Wild Most, in terms of riding it in POV. So just a note to the developers again, something to fix there. So that coaster turned out to be pretty successful. Now, is this one loading up again? Here we go. Oh, don't tell me it's stuck. Okay, good. What? This is seat 1? Oh gosh. Oh well. It's because the the car gets rearranged every single time. So seat 1 will never be seat 1 again. So it'd be really hard to figure out what... Well, I guess... No. Yeah, I don't know. It was shoot backwards. Their hats are coming off. It's a pretty rough, rocky ride because of all these splitters and bouncers. But now we're like little individual cars, which I really like. And then we're re-merging. Oh, watch your heads. Okay, I didn't check that out. Honestly, this is my first time riding it. I was just trying to complete the objectives. I figured I would test them, but I did decide to like do some theming on this. We got like gigantic rose garden here for the Love is Complicated coaster. We get to the boarding station. Well, it isn't. I don't know why the grass is growing through here. It wasn't like that before. Must have been from me reloading my save. What the heck? Why has the terrain gone through my coaster? Okay, so another bug that we just discovered. This was above the terrain before. I don't know how the train actually went over it. I had all this theming on the station, which is now gone. Can we push the terrain in? Oh, we can, but we've actually deleted all of our trees. Undo, undo, undo. Oh, look. The undo key doesn't bring back all of the trees. If the terrain deletes something and you undo it, it does not bring back the thing that it deleted, but only the terrain. Another bug. So, I mean, wow, we're hitting all of the developer feedback in one go without me actually making a developer feedback video. Oh my goodness gracious. So, yeah. This park was turning out to be pretty awesome. We had our love area, we had our love rides. I was looking forward to impossifying these with you guys and, you know, expanding. I told you what my plans were for this park. I wanted to see this park through, finish it, make it better than the last one. But because of these challenges, it's game over. I'm almost so defeated after the third time of failing this mission that I don't want to like beat this mission off camera. It just infuriates me. What this could have been, and now it just our fun stops here. And it puts fear in my mind of what are going to be the problems in mission 5. The thing is, when you start a mission, you can't look ahead and find out what those challenges are going to be until you get to them when they appear on the map. So I guess, again, for developer feedback, how about somewhere here in the info, is there a hook thing that I'm missing on? I don't really understand it. If I'm missing something and I'm a pretty, like, I would say a gamer's gamer, you know, I know how to play games at a high level, not like a professional, but I would say, you know, I was a QA tester by career. I worked on art for games. I helped build games. I've made a video game. I'm a generalist. I know a little bit of anything. If there's anyone that should be able to beat this objective, it would be someone that has 3,000 hours in theme park games. So if I can't beat it, then if someone else has beaten it, well, I feel like a dummy. But this video is not for nothing. I showed you issues. My coaster wasn't working when we booted it up. My station got screwed up. There's all sorts of crazy things. My suggestions with the Wild Mouse are valid. The camera clicking around, certain things in this game just need to get fixed. But despite all of that and being somewhat like bitter and salty, look, we made a pretty theme park. Oh yeah, the coasters need to be buffed, especially for the early game. There's still not like enough people going on this coaster. More people need to be attracted to this coaster. This one too. It's been, yeah, what's its usability now? It's not that great. It says maximum, but it's like right in between. But like if we look at our coaster profits, they're all losing money. they all lose money. If I go to my money here, they're all losing money. So despite them saying like their utilization's okay, with 1,500 guests in the park, there's still not enough throughput to make a profit off of our coasters. I had this profiting at the end of the last video, and it was $90 a month. And all of these new coasters, despite them being packed queues, packed-ish, they're all a deficit. Every single one of them is a deficit. And this one's like $16, and it's losing money. If that's not a problem with the game, oh look, we beat a challenge. Too bad we couldn't beat these ones. Is there a way to skip a challenge? I don't think there is. Oh, I forgot about the team goals. Again, adding in some more developer feedback. The team goals I always forget about this. Just work, you see how you have an impossification meter? You should have a timer for the team meter. So every time because these team challenges show up, like, so if we pick a goal here, sell 200 serves of bubble tea, the next goal won't be available until I beat this, but then there's a timer. And there needs to be some sort of notification being like, hey, new team objectives have become available. Because I was about to beat this mission without actually 3-starring it. Because in order to 3-star missions, you have to make sure you complete one objective for every single team member. And that means I have to beat one for 5 team members, whereas on the last mission it was 3. And I haven't even beaten it for like 1 or 2 because I always forget this menu exists. And by the time you get going and get playing, you're so distracted by this is so like stuffed and hidden away. And when you're on your goals here, you're like, there's this tiny little sub menu over here. You're more focused on this and forget about this tiny little tab up here, and this just gets stuffed to the side. There should be something on the main UI being like team goal available, complete your team goal, because now that I have the team goal selected, it's added it to my objectives as like a side objective. So, you know, I could just put a sticky note on my monitor saying, you know, hey, team goals, but I shouldn't have to do that. Anyways, I think that's everything I want to say. I've gone through some stuff. I have a long laundry list of things that need to be improved on this game in order for it to be successful, in order for me to give a gleaming review. But I've spent, let me check Steam. I think I've played 25 hours of this game and like 15 of the beta. I've been playing this game for 40 hours so far, and I've run into like so many issues, and I can't even get past the 4th level of the campaign. All I could say is I'm a little heartbroken. I was having fun with this mission. I feel like I got robbed a little bit, and I'm gonna have to go cheese this mission. That's everything I have to say. While I might sound a little whiny and complaining, I think there's merit behind it. Sorry for the rant, guys. It is what it is. The next video will hopefully be going on to mission 5, unless something goes wrong again on this mission. And if it does, I am uninstalling this game. Absolutely. If I fail this mission for a 4th time, I am uninstalling this game. I just can't handle it anymore, especially when I'm actually trying. Okay, so I have to clip this into the video. I said that if I have failed this mission again, I'm going to rage quit this game, and I am on the brink of losing my sanity. So I managed to get the income up high. This is fine. The reason I'm losing money is because of the staff. What I want to highlight here is the cleanliness of the park. 35% out of 80%. This is the cleanest park you'll ever see. Look how many trash bins I have. I mean, there's a little bit of litter here. That's about it. There's not even a lot of paths. So what went wrong? Look at the amount of janitors I have. They're all impossified. Every last one of them. Yeah, I have crazy amounts of janitors, to the point where I'm losing money on them. Why is my park so much dirtier than my last park? I wonder. Let me save my game, and I'll show you guys why. So restart map for the 6th time. So as you did see, I did choose the impossification route for the flat rides. Because I went with this route, I was able to complete all the challenges, so good news there. You can beat all the challenges. Unfortunately, I have to redo them again, and I have to restart the park for, I think, the 6th time now. So you can see that the park starts off with garbage everywhere, right? So I'm gonna save my game so I can load it. What I did, as you saw, there was no circle in the middle of the park that I just showed you guys. So I actually moved everything aside, and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna make my own layout, right? Just to efficiently build this park as quickly as possible. So I went into the demolish tool, and I deleted all of these paths. That garbage on the grass stays in the grass. If you delete a path in this game that has trash on it, that trash stays in your park forever, even if you can't see it. The trash, because I deleted all of these paths, and even though it looked like the trash disappeared, the trash is invisibly in the ground forever. And I was sitting there for like an hour trying to figure out why I have way more, like my last park was at 90% cleanliness because I kept this original layout and they cleaned all that trash. As a QA tester myself, I thought, what was the only thing I did differently? Well, it was the fact that I deleted the paths to start and, you know, I built my own park layout. You have to clean the trash first, then build your own park layout. Otherwise, you'll forever have like an 80% dirty park. Like I couldn't get it above, I think 30 or 40, whatever you guys saw when we started it, because the park is considerably dirty still, even though it's underneath the ground and underneath the paths of the game. So this is also a problem. Why? Because if you so happen to be building your park and, you know, a path gets littered on and you're like, oh, well, like I need to change the layout of this park, delete, redo it. Every little piece of trash that gets left behind will affect your cleanliness rating forever. So it's actually impossible in this game to maintain a 100% cleanliness rating because anytime you accidentally delete a path that had garbage on it, that garbage is permanently in the park forever. So my developer feedback for the developers is add a decay to trash that's not on pathing. It should just decay. It should just disappear. Or just make it so trash cannot be in the game unless it is on a path. There should be no trash in the grass like this. If there's no path, and yes, that would allow you to cheese this in theory, like just delete all the paths to clean up the trash and save yourself some time. But I wasn't trying to exploit the game by deleting the paths. That wasn't my intention. Like it only takes 5 minutes for the janitors to come in here and clean all this up. My intention was I just want to change the layout of the park, and most people are going to come into a campaign and be like, I don't know if I want to go with this circle and I want to change the shape of things. By doing so, they screwed themselves on this objective. So here I just went through all of the milestones, did all of the challenges, all of the stuff, got all the way to the final goal, and I was like, wait, why can't I have my cleanliness above 80%? Why is my park tanking right now? Why is everything so dirty? And this has to be the reason. So this time I'm going to do it around the circle and I should have a next success. If not, you're going to see another clip-in video from me of the next thing that went wrong. Jesus Christ. All right, back to the video, whatever I was talking about last. I want to clip this into my previous point just to prove to you guys that my theory was in fact correct. I have restarted the mission. I have plugged through all of the milestones and here we are at the final stretch. And guess what? Because I kept the original layout, cleaned up all the trash, didn't change a thing, didn't delete any paths, there's no hidden garbage in the ground underneath paths, I now have a cleanliness rating of 94 out of 100 as opposed to the complete utter failure that I had previously. So this in fact is true, tested, just QA tested it for you. I'm in fact right. Now all I need to do is get that monthly income to 1,000 and I can be over with this mission and on to the next one. Oh, and I also want to add, I did it this time with 3 janitors. So there's the proof right there. Unimpossified janitors. Just 3 regular hired janitors, 94% cleanliness. So, yep, it's in fact a bug. Okay, back to whatever I was talking about last in the video. There we go. So this is future Johnny clipping this into this video for the developer feedback. The next mission that we go on to, the next scenario, has a whole new game-breaking bug preventing me yet again, very similar to the pathing issues and the cleanliness. Because these islands are all slopey and there's so many slopes, if guests puke or throw trash on a slightly off even path, the puke is floating and the janitors cannot find the puke. They just walk over it. They don't know it's there. And everywhere that I have a slight incline, the trash is building up and the janitors can't find it. Therefore, my park rating is the cleanliness is so low. I basically lost the mission again. I could not beat this objective. This objective to unlock Lab Expansion 5 requires you to have a very clean park and a very high fun rating. Everything was going good. I was smashing this scenario. We were in the, you know, the positive balance. Everything was great. And then suddenly, because all of this puke piled up, everyone everyone just got really mad that this was a messy park, and they started leaving. I lost half of my guests to the filth, and now there's not enough people to queue up for all my rides, and therefore my rides are costing me a massive deficit. So again, future Johnny reporting in with another game-breaking bug causing me to lose the scenario because the garbage and puke isn't actually locked and connected to paths in this game, which causes you to lose the game for a reason that is not my own. Like I said, the mission was going smoothly. So yeah, this the next scenario was fun until it wasn't. And I'm just wondering what I'm gonna run into next. This is the most heartbreaking, devastating, painful campaign I've ever had to put myself through. And I'm putting my viewers through it. I'm so sorry. I love you guys. Future Johnny here reporting in. I've restarted the scenario, and the way you get around the floating puke bug is to flatten everything. If you flatten all of the terrain, there can never be a slope, and then you get no floating puke. And as you can see, this time around, my cleanliness rating is at 92%, looking normal, no deficits, no problems on this scenario, killing it now, doing an amazing job beating this, but not playing the game as intended. So another downside to this game is you have to build everything on a flat surface. No interesting sloped paths. There's actually no point in making slope paths if you're going to run into this floating puke issue because you have sloped stairs and stuff like that. So a bit of an unfortunate thing there, but at least there's a workaround in the meantime. Hopefully the devs fix the floating puke bug. Future Johnny here reporting in an even further ahead scenario. I started losing money again, and I couldn't figure out why. Look at my AI. They're all jammed up here, not doing anything. They're all stuck. And because of that, all their needs are plummeting, and I don't know how to fix it. My goodness. Yeah, well, like I said, you can make some pretty cool stuff in this game. I just hope it gets fixed. And I'm gonna leave you guys with that. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm not having a wonderful day, so at least have a wonderful day for me. Bless your face, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.